Hi everyone, Sherry here with another digital stamp from Jess Crafts Digitals. And today I'm using the Cowboy Cat digital stamp. And I wanted to add a little cactus to the image, and I drew this out very lightly with a number 2 pencil. And then I went over it with a Copic multiliner. And now I'm going to start doing some Copic coloring, and I'm using some YG markers here on the actual cactus. And if you've ever looked at a cactus, it has some mountains and valleys, if you will, some ridges. So I'm going to attempt to draw in some of those mountains and valleys with the darker Copic marker here. And then I'm going to go in with my medium color and smooth those out. And when I finish that, I'm going to go back over it again with the lightest color. I do apologize in advance for speeding this up so much, but this video ended up being almost an hour long because I am a slow creator. So there will be some portions where I'm going to jump forward so I don't have to bore you with all of the coloring. So now I'm going to move on to my kitty, and I decided that I was going to make this kitty a gray tabby with a white belly and a white tail tip. So for the belly and the tail tip, I'm going to use my C3 and C1 and blend that out with my colorless blender. Even the white areas of a particular image will have some shadows in it. So I didn't put my marker tops up there for you to see. I'm now going to be using some of the C3, and I'm going to bring in some C5 and some C7 as well. And I will use those darker colors to make the stripes on my my little gray tabby. So with the C7, I'm putting down the darkest stripes, and then I go back in and I widen them up just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring in the C5 and just put that along the edges of the darker part. And I will also use a little bit of the C5 to put under the hat where there would be a shadow from the brim, and then just around the outer edges of the face as well. And then I will come back in with my C3 and smooth that out. So I'm going to essentially do the same thing for the tail. I'm going to lay down my C3, come in with my C7 and make the stripes. And then I'll come in and use the C5. And then back over it again with the C3. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to his body as well. So for the cowboy hat, I decided to use the E30s. So I'm laying down some E33, and then I will come in with the E35, which is my mid-tone. And right here, I kind of wanted to make that little, you know, some cowboy hats have a little dip in it. I don't even know what to call it, but I've seen it. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to create here when I put that mid-tone color in the middle of the one side of the hat. And so I'm going to get my darker color in, and then I'm coming back in with my lighter color and filling that all in. And I did the same thing to the brim of the hat as well. For the band on the hat, I used a combination of R89, R29, and R24, with my darkest being at the outer edges and that's to create the effect of roundness. And then I'm going to be using the same 3 colors to color his little bandana scarf. Again with the R89 at the furthest edges, blending with the R29, and then finally blending all of that out with the R24. And I'm going to do the same thing with the scarf ties here. I did use the 3 colors. I don't think it was really necessary. The area is so small, but I had it out, so I used it. Get that all blended out. And then I'm going to move on to the little grassy area that I drew in. And I'm using my medium green and my dark green, and just being a little sketchy with laying down that color. And then I'm going to bring back in my brown, the E33, and I'm going to lay down a little bit of a ground, sandy, dirt area, whatever you would want to call it. Just a place for Kitty and Cactus to stand. And then I'm going to bring back in my lightest green and just kind of pull some of that green down into the brown color. And then I'm going to grab my medium brown marker, and I'm just going to give a little dot detail using my colorless blender as well. And then again with the lightest E33 brown. So now it's time to add the little prickly things on the cactus. So I'm just using my multi-liner, and I'm going down the dark green areas of the cactus and just drawing in some little star-like shapes. Some have 5 legs, some have 6. And I apologize, I lost it on camera, but I did use my white gel pen to add some dots to the bandana and the hat band as well. So here I have a piece of decorative paper. I used the MFT Blueprints 27 frame and cut out that blue paper. And I also used the banner dies that are in that set. And I stamped the sentiment on the front with some clear sticky ink and white embossed it. And then I'm going to lay that down, or attach that, I'm sorry, with some Scotch foam tape. Everything else I adhered with some Tombow Mono Multi. For the inside, I just have a simple little I love you with 2 hearts. And that's going to complete my card for today. Thank you for joining, and please be sure to check out Jess Crafts Digitals. I have left a link down below, as well as links to all of the other products that I used. Thank you so much. Bye now.